Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Bethany and I am so excited to share all of my projects that I'm going to be doing in this video. So this video has been on my heart for pretty much all of fall and summer. I have just been patiently waiting for the holiday season to get going so that I could share all these fun ideas today. So in this video, we are going to be doing all things sublimation as we get ready for Christmas. So there are so many fun sublimation ideas that you can use as you're getting your gifts together, and I'm going to share quite a few of them today, and I can't wait to see how all of these turn out. So I have used my Sublimation printer to print out all of my designs. As a reminder, I will go ahead and link everything that I'm using in the description box below. I'm using a lot of fun gadgets today. So I'm using my Sawgrass SG500, which is my Sublimation printer. I'm going to be using my new Sublimation oven, which I'm so excited to show you. It's so fun to use. And I'm going to be using my heat press. I'll also be using the Easy Press from Cricut. So we're going to do a lot of fun little gadgets today as we put all of these sublimation gifts together. So a couple reminders before we get started. When you are doing sublimation, just make sure you are in a well-ventilated room. Also, for sublimation, you do need to have a sublimation printer that prints with sublimation ink. So again, I will be sharing in the description box below everything that I use, including my printer, my presses. I'll share what ink I use, what sublimation paper I use, all the butcher paper products that I use. So be sure to utilize that description box below, because not only will you see all of the gadgets and accessories that I'm using, but you'll also see links to all of the designs that I'm using to put all of these fun little projects together. Now, as another reminder, your time and temperature may vary on your projects versus my projects. So I will share what I'm going to do, but make sure you always test it out yourself. So be sure you're testing to see what temperature you prefer to use and for how long you want to press that for. So again, time and temperature may be varying for what you like to do, and make sure that you do whatever you are comfortable with and whatever works for you. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm really excited. We are going to sublimate all things for Christmas. I'm going to be sharing lots of Christmas ideas that you can do with sublimation, and it really works for just about any type of gift. You can do these for neighbors, teachers, fun stocking stuffers, and there's just so many fun ideas. So this is going to be really fun. I hope you pour a nice warm cup of something yummy, and let's go ahead and get crafting. Okay, so I am just so excited to finally be bringing this video to my channel, because again, it's just been on my heart for a long time, and I'm excited to inspire you with how you can do some gift giving with some sublimation. So let's just relax and craft, and as always, chit chat. So for my first sublimation project idea, I am going to be doing a bookmark. So this is a sublimation bookmark. As a reminder, and I will do my best to remind you time and time again throughout this video, so it might be repetitive in the terms of whenever you are doing a sublimation project, you do need to use a sublimation blank. So this bookmark is not just any bookmark, this is a sublimation bookmark. I will link it down below. I have done these before on my channel. They turn out so cute, and I also printed out a cute little design on my sublimation paper with my sublimation printer. So when you print out a sublimation print with your sublimation printer, it will be very light and muted. So this is a very, very light little design, but once you apply the heat, this will take on a more vibrant tone. So we are going to sublimate this cute little pink candy cane design onto this bookmark, and it's going to turn out really cute. Plus, my little one just asked me for a bookmark last night, and I am so excited because I already had this planned, and so I told her she's going to get a pink candy cane bookmark today. So let's go ahead and get started. I have my heat press mat here, and I'm also going to be using the littlest of the easy presses. So I'm going to use this little 6x7. I have my press set to 400 degrees for 60 seconds. Again, as a reminder, your time and temp may vary. So as you are doing sublimation, as you're starting or as you are continuing with sublimation, always play around with what temperatures and for how long you want to press for, because it could vary. Just because mine does it a certain way could mean that yours might do it differently. So just another friendly reminder. So I also have a piece of cardstock here. Now I'm going to place the cardstock over my heat press mat. This is going to be a little protective barrier, because when you do sublimation, you can potentially have your ink ink bleed onto another surface. So the goal here is for us to sublimate our little cute design onto our bookmark. But in doing so, sometimes that gets on other surfaces. So we want to put down a piece of cardstock, because if we have any bleeding, we want that to go on something that we can just easily toss and throw away, not on something that we're going to ruin. If you do get sublimation ink on your pad, what can happen is when you go to use this pad again, say for either iron-on or another sublimation project, whatever ink is left on here will sublimate onto your next project. So you don't want to ruin this. So always put down a protective barrier. In my case, I'm using a piece of cardstock. We are also going to be using some butcher paper. And again, I will link the butcher paper that I like to use for sublimation below. And I just grabbed one piece of butcher paper for this. So to start off, we are going to grab our little sublimation bookmark right here. And some of your sublimation blanks will have a little protective coating on there. So they could have a little piece of plastic so that you would need to peel off. In this case, this one does not, but I just want to mention that because it's telling me to hurry. But I want to mention that because sometimes there are things that you need to peel off. So always just double check, run your finger over there, make sure there's nothing on there that you need to peel off. In this case, there's nothing as a protective coating on there. So I'm going to take a lint-free cloth. You need to make sure that you wipe down the surface of your sublimation blank. Whatever you're doing, you always want to make sure you clean it off first. And you'll see me do this repeatedly in every project that I do today. So I'm going to just take a lint-free cloth. I'm going to make sure there is nothing on the surface. This includes dust or lint, and this also includes fingerprints or any types of oils or smudges. So once I have that done, the reason I'm doing that is because if you don't, there can be a little blue dot that can show up after you sublimate. And we might see that during my projects today. I over wipe, I over lint roll, and sometimes it still happens. So I'm just telling you that because we might see it today, but you really can't over clean, because I feel like I'm very diligent about it and it still can happen. Okay, so we have our sublimation print with sublimation ink on our sublimation paper. Say that 10 times fast. We have our sublimation blank. We also have some heat resistant tape. I'm using the Cricut heat resistant tape. I really like it. I also have some other heat resistant tape, but I haven't opened it yet. So I just put mine in a little acrylic tape dispenser because it makes it so much quicker and easier to grab. So I'm going to grab a piece or two. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my sublimation bookmark and I'm going to place it white side down. Again, I'm going to be overcautious here and make sure it's all clean. So the white side is the side you're going to sublimate on. I'm going to place that onto the ink. So the white side and the ink are going to match up. So then once I do that, I'm going to place some tape on there. And the tape is just going to help secure it so that it doesn't move. When it comes to sublimation, everything must remain very still. If you move your press, if your project moves, it can smudge and smear and then it won't turn out as crisp and vibrant as it needs to be. Okay, so now I have that down. So as you can see, I have taped my white section to the ink. You can also see that there is a little barrier of ink here. So this is a little bleed line, if you, for lack of a better word, but when you use, I'm using my Sawgrass SG500, so when I tell it that I'm going to do a bookmark, it adds a little bit more area than needed. That way it just helps you line it up, and that way you can make sure that all of the ink gets onto the bookmark. So it gives you some little room for error, and that way all of your ink goes to the edge of your surface as well. So again, we have to be careful there because that ink is going to touch something and going to sublimate onto something other than the bookmark, that little ink there. So that's why we have our protective pieces down so that it will sublimate onto something other than our pad or another project. Okay, so I have my heat press pad, cardstock, then I have my butcher paper. And what I'm going to do with my butcher paper is I'm going to place my bookmark right in there, and I'm going to fold my butcher paper over. Okay, so now what I have is bookmark side down, paper side up. There we go. So I'm sandwiching that in there in between the folds, so there's two layers of that butcher paper. Pad, cardstock, butcher paper, project, butcher paper. Now we're going to make sure that we take our press and place it all over that bookmark. You can only sublimate it one time, so you want to make sure that it covers the entire surface area that you are wanting to sublimate. So I'm just going to get an idea of where that is, bring my press over, place it right on top. Again, keeping it very still, and I'll click start. Again, mine is doing 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 60 seconds. I'm not going to move my press at all. I'm going to keep a little bit of like a medium pressure on there, but again, don't move your press. You just want to keep it extremely still, and then we're just going to let that count down. Now the projects that are coming up, I am definitely going to go through a little bit quicker. I just wanted to slow down for this first one and really explain pretty much the basics of sublimation and why I'm doing the things that I'm doing. That way you can get an idea of what you need to anticipate when you do sublimation. Okay, when I pick this up, I'm going to pick it straight up. So straight, and then put my press right back over on the base. Now this is going to be very hot, so we want to let it cool. I'm going to take my butcher paper here, and then I like to use tweezers, so I'm just going to grab some tweezers. It's really helpful. You can also have oven mitts as well. Just be very careful. This is very hot. Oh my gosh, I got a peek of it. It's so cute. I'm very impatient, so do as I say, not as I do, and I'm telling you just to wait for it to cool. But I'm going to try and see if I can peel it and see what it looks like. So I have some little silicone oven mitts here that will just protect my little fingers. And then I'm going to hold that and I'm going to rip this up. Look how cute. Let me try to hold this up here. How cute is this? Now I need to take the little tape off. Let's see here. And this will cool down fairly quickly because metal tends to cool down really quick. So as you can see here, some of that area that bled off is actually sublimated onto our butcher paper. And then it didn't really get, I don't think it got onto this either, but that's good. It did get on this, so we will toss this. Now you don't want to reuse any butcher paper that has any ink on it because again, this can sublimate onto the next project. So you will just toss this away. But it served its purpose because it prevented any sublimation ink from getting onto our pressing pad or another sheet of paper. So that's really, really great. So now this is getting pretty cool. Ooh, I like that's pretty hot still. But let me take this tape off. Tape, and we can get a good idea for how this little design turned out. How cute. I love it. And now this is permanent. It's on there for good. So cute. There's so many ideas that you can do with this as well. I'm keeping a pretty Christmassy theme for my projects today for most of them. So you'll see a lot of Christmas prints and stuff, but I love how this turned out. You can do just about anything. You can put names on it, personalize it as much as you want. Again, great idea for a stocking, great idea for teachers, neighbors, great idea for book clubs. So I love this. It would be really, really cute and fun idea. And I hope that this inspires you to do one of these as one of your Christmas gifts this year. So cute. Okay, let's move on to our next project idea. Okay, so the next little idea we are going to do is a darling little keychain. So they make sublimation keychains, and I'm going to sublimate a cute little monogram onto this little keychain. So I love monograms. You know this about me. We're going to do several today because I think they're the most darling thing ever, and I have to monogram all the things. So for this, what you will see is this is the actual physical keychain. This is not what we are going to sublimate. This is essentially the base that we're going to put our sublimation project in. So this is something we're going to set to the side. This is our little sublimation blank that we have. So it's just this round little disc. Again, this is made for sublimation. So what it does is it has some sort of sublimation coating on there that will allow the ink to attach to it, for lack of a better word. So I'm always just careful to see if there is anything on the surface there, and there is. So for this, I might need to grab my weeding tool. There is a little liner that you have to peel off. So here is one sublimation blank. Now the bookmarks, it didn't seem like it had anything on there, but this, you always want to be sure that there isn't something that you need to take off. So for this one there was, so I'm going to peel that off. That way we don't sublimate onto this little plastic coating here, and we're going to sublimate onto the little disc itself. So I'm going to throw that away. But because I'm just too nervous, I'm still going to make sure that I wipe this off. Now, I don't think our bookmark had any little blue dots on it, so we did a good job there. So I'm gonna wash this off really well. And then I have my same supplies. So I have my pressing pad, my cardstock, I have some butcher paper here. I have my Sublimation design that I printed on my Sublimation printer. And so I'm gonna do a cute little monogram here. So what I'm gonna do is I have my tape. I'm just gonna grab one long piece. And I am going to take the white side. Again, the white side is the side you're going to sublimate on. And I'm going to lay that on the ink. And I'm gonna do my best to get it centered. Sometimes it's so hard, obviously, because you can't really see, but I'm just gonna center that the best I can. And if you turn it over, it's hard for you to see on camera, but in person, I can kind of see an outline of the design so that I can see how to center it. It'll make much more sense when you do it in person. That looks about good to me. Once I have it centered where I'd like it, I'm just gonna tape it down. Okay. So now that's taped. Got it good. So I have my Sublimation blank taped to my Sublimation print with the ink. And then again, I'm just gonna fold this in half. That way I can kind of sandwich that in there. And I am going to place this Sublimation blank side down and paper side up inside, and I'll just sandwich that in there. I'm gonna do the same temp and time for this. Again, not moving it, keeping it very still. So I'm going to do 400 degrees for 60 seconds. Not moving it. Just about medium pressure. I'm just kind of keeping a nice firm palm on there, and we'll let that count down. Okay, so that is almost done. Again, when I take my press, I'm not going to take it off sideways. I wanna make sure I pull it straight up and then replace it in my base there. Okay, so now, again, being careful, and again, you can wait till it cools, but I just am so excited. Patience is not one of my things when it comes to revealing things. So just be really careful. Let me find my tweezers again. Whoop, there it is. Okay, everything is very hot. And now what I will do, just take that off. Cute. Oh my goodness, so cute. So I did a little monogram. I'll link this text below. It is so hot. Let me just let it cool for a second. If you kind of just hold it up in the air, that metal is so tiny. That surface area of that metal is so tiny, so it's going to cool really quickly. So I'm just holding onto the tape there and letting that cool off. How cute is this? So this is a cute little floral monogram set. So it came with the floral letters of the whole alphabet, and then the gingham version of the whole alphabet, and then like a mustard stripe. So I'll link it down below. You're gonna see these a time or two more in today's video because I think it's adorable. So I'm gonna monogram quite a few things in this, but showing you different project ideas. Okay, so that has cooled. See how quickly that cools? I'm just gonna take that tape off. And now we are going to assemble our keychain. So now with the keychain, there is a little white piece here, and this is just the adhesive. So you're just gonna peel that little liner off, and there is a little adhesive down in there. And now I'm gonna keep that really straight. That way I make sure my monogram is straight on there. But then we're just gonna place this right in there. So that little Sublimation blank is just gonna pop right in there and stick right in there. Push it down. And how easy. Now you could make these in bulk so easily because look, it doesn't take much sublimation paper. So you could, line a whole paper with all of your designs, and then you could tape all of these, you could press them all at once, and you could have, at least a dozen of these done very quickly and very easily. So let's think, these would be really cute teacher gifts. You know what these would also be? They'd be a really cute gift bag charm. So you could make a little, Santa Claus or somebody's name, and you could put this on their gift bag. So it could kind of be like a gift tag, which is cute as well. So I'm going to use these obviously on a set of car keys, but how cute for teachers, just anybody in your life that you want to do a quick little gift for. This is a good coworker gift too, because sometimes it feels like the holidays there's so many people to buy for. So this would be a really wonderful idea for your coworkers. Again, you could do a dozen of them in no time at all. But how sweet, how cute. You can do any design that you wish. Again, I'm just sharing some designs that I personally love and that kind of fit my style, but just take these ideas and run with them and do anything that you would like. All right, let's go ahead and do the next project. Okay, so since there wasn't any ink that bled onto this cardstock, I'm going to reuse it to save materials. It's a little faded, discolored from just the heat, but there's no ink on there, so we are safe to reuse this. Now for this project, for another idea, we are going to sublimate an iPhone case. Now these are so fun because it's really fun to change out your little iPhone case based on the season that you're in. Very similar to the keychain, you're going to have the little base here, but you're going to have a little sublimation portion here. So this is just a little sublimation part of the whole project, and this is what we're going to put it in the end. So I am going to double check once more, and this one does have a little protective coating on there. So I'm going to peel that away. See how that's on there? You don't want to sublimate onto that because then it's not sublimating anywhere. It just would peel right off. You want to sublimate it onto that metal piece. There we go. And then again, I'm going to grab my lint-free cloth here. Even though I just took that off, you can't be too careful. So I'm going to do a little extra work here. Takes no time at all. And you don't want to wish you did, right? Cleaning that off. Here is my sublimation print. Once again, printed on my sublimation printer. It's going to be really cute. Again, very muted, but it's going to take on a more vibrant tone once it has the heat applied to it. But it's kind of like a little sweater material with little reindeer on it. You'll see in a minute. Okay, so let's repeat those steps. So we're going to take our tape. Let's see here. Oh, now I got it all. There we go. Okay, got our tape. We're going to take our sublimation side, which is that white side, put it face down onto the ink side. And then you just kind of position it wherever you'd like. Again, it gave us a little bleed line, so it gave us a little more than we need. And that makes sure that the design reaches the edges of our project. That way we don't accidentally, you know, have a little edge that didn't get any sublimation on there. And I'm going to do my best to make sure, because this design has, you know, some sort of directional line on it. So I want to take my time and make sure that I have it lined up appropriately. Okay. Tape, again, that's going to help our project from shifting. That way we get a nice clean transfer. Okay, butcher paper. So pad, cardstock. Again, the cardstock is protecting our pad from getting ink on it. Butcher paper. We'll just sandwich that in there so that we have a piece on the front, or below, excuse me, and on top. And then let's turn this over so it's paper side up. Now again, you want to make sure that your heat press covers your entire project. That way all of the ink transfers. So I'm just getting an idea for where it starts and stops. About just like that. And then I am going to actually do this. Oh, I think it could be fine at 400 for 60 seconds. Let's just try. I think I had it written down to maybe do 365 for 45 seconds. Let's just try it. Let's just try this. Okay. Maybe I'll do 400 for like 50 seconds or something. It makes sense to me that it would be similar to the other projects I did because it's a metal. So that's why I'm saying your times and temperatures may vary. So just do some practice. And when you buy sublimation blanks, they come with, more often than not, like when I bought the cell phone cases, I think it was like in a 6-pack. Again, I'll link all of the materials that I'm using down below so that you can find them. And again, as a reminder, you do need a sublimation printer with ink, that's sublimation ink. And you also need sublimation blanks to do these projects. And I don't mean to be repetitive, but I will say that so much, but I'll still get questions of if somebody can do this with a Dollar Tree mug or any type of cell phone case. So I want to make sure that I'm clear about that. Okay, let's see how that turned out. There we go. I think that worked just fine. Okay. Now I'm going to grab my little mitts here. I feel like tweezers are a sublimation best friend. Okay, peeling off that paper. Ooh, so cute. And again, this will, I'm just gonna hold it by the tape. Oh goodness, no, I'm not, it's so hot. Maybe I'll take a second here, but here is the paper. Do you see how some of the ink got on it? So what do we do with this? We toss it. Bye-bye. I don't think we got any on our cardstock, but we might have. So I'll just double check that. Let this cool down. And then we will install it in the case. There we go. I'm just holding it by the tape. The tape is cool. And then that metal, it really does cool down very quickly, but take your time. Don't burn yourself. Okay, so I'm just going to peel that tape off. There we go. And then we will, that's pretty cool now. How sweet. I love that. Okay, now we will install it in our little iPhone case. So there is just a little adhesive in here. So you're just going to take and peel that liner off. And I think these come in all sorts of colors. I liked the white, but you can use anything that you, or purchase whichever one you like. And then I'm just going to line that up, place it right in there. How cute and fun is this for Christmas time? Just so fun. Again, you can do anything you'd like. You can put pictures on this. It's the same process. So just, you can do pictures, you can do, you know, someone's name. So all you'd want to do is obviously make sure that the case that you are buying the person for matches their phone. But I've done that before where I purchased the wrong case, but how cute is that? It was still a good practice, right? But really fun. It's kind of like a cozy Christmas sweater, but kind of a really pink and fun version of it. So really fun Christmas gift, another fun little stocking stuffer, small in size, which sometimes I find stocking stuffers can be a little bit hard to do because of this pure size, right? I hope I'm not the only one. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the next project. Again, that time and temp worked perfect for me. So that was a little experiment, but I really like the results. So good to know. Okay, so new piece of cardstock and new piece of butcher paper. To continue on with the cell phone theme, another idea that you can do is you can sublimate a little pop socket. So these just attach to the back of the phone. It allows you to have like a little grip while you're looking at your phone, and they're really fun. So what we're going to do is we are simply going to sublimate, again, this little disc, then we'll install it in the little base, which is the actual pop socket or phone grip. They kind of have two different terms. So once again, it looks like there is a protective liner on this, so I'm going to very gently peel that away. There we go. And then I am going to just wipe it down really quick with my lint-free cloth, regardless of if it was already covered. There we go. And then let me grab my design. So the little design I'm doing is a cute little snowflake patterned paper, which is really fun. Again, I will link all of the little designs that I'm using down in that description box below, but how cute is that? I love it. So again, heat resistant tape, probably just do one long piece so I can cover the entire thing. I have my sublimation paper with the print. I have my sublimation blank, and we're going to put that white side down onto the ink. Position it wherever you'd like. Again, you can see that there is a little extra there. And then just tape it. Lather, rinse, repeat. I promise we're gonna get to the sublimation oven. We're gonna get the mug press out. We're gonna get the heat press out. But while this little guy is toasty warm, we're gonna do all of our little easy press ones first. Again, you could do these on your heat press too, but I just wanted to show you a variety of heating tools that you can do in case you don't have a big heat press. So, okay, heating pad, cardstock, butcher paper, fold it in half. We're gonna make a little sandwich. Open it up. Sublimation blank side down, paper side up. You guys know the whole gist now. Again, not moving our press. Put it right down there, start the time. 400 degrees for 60 seconds. Again, your time and temperature may vary. My husband jokes because I just had a really fun time shopping for a lot of new fun craft things this year. So as you know, I got the new oven and then my new sublimation printer, which I've had so much fun with. There's a whole playlist also on my channel. If you are liking this video and you really want to learn more about sublimation, go to my sublimation playlist. I'll link it in the little top corner for you. And then my embroidery machine. So as the holidays have been approaching, my husband is joking that everybody's getting sublimated mugs and embroidered shirts for Christmas because I'm just having fun with this. Okay, here we go. It's gonna be hot. Pull it straight up and there we go. Okay, handy dandy tweezers here and my little grippies. Let's see. Woo, come on. There we go. Ooh, this one's gonna be so cute. You could do, once again, I'm just showing you the designs that I thought were cute, but you could do just about anything, right? So you could do pictures on here. So cute. And let's see here. You could do a monogram like we did for the keychain. And just about anything. So personalize it away. I'm just giving you ideas and you can run with it. So see how that takes on a different, brighter tone? So that middle part was where it kind of started. The outer part is where it went once we applied the heat. Oh, here comes my heater keeping me toasty warm down here. So you might hear just a little bit of background noise, but it's chilly, chilly, chilly. Okay, so woo, that's hot. Let me let that cool and then let me lift that up. Look how cute that is. So sweet. So we will let this cool for a second, then we'll install it in our little pop socket. Okay, so this little kit came with I mean, I don't even know how many came in this kit. There were so many. So everybody's getting a pop socket. And it also came with these little double-sided adhesives. I think this is what they are. So I'm going to turn this over so it's on the metal side, and I'm going to apply one of these little adhesive circles. Doing my best to line that up. Looks like it's just a tad smaller than the actual metal, so that makes it pretty easy. And then it should, I want to say this is like a double-sided adhesive, so it should just, there we go. Yep, then you peel the liner off, leaving the adhesive on the little metal part, and then install it on this side. Okay, push it in there. And then this side, it looks like there's another adhesive, and that's how you would attach it to your phone, I think. Makes sense to me. Okay, so then here's the little pop socket. You kind of just, you'll have your phone here, holding it this way, but it attaches to the back. My phone already, oh, I took mine off for a second. Mine comes on and off, but it would go to the back of your phone just like this. That way you can have something to kind of hold it a little bit better. Okay, so how cute is that? Again, cute teacher gift, cute anybody gift, cute stocking stuffer, coworker gift. You can make a dozen of these in no time at all. So simple, so easy. You could just print out a bunch of prints on one piece of sublimation paper, and then you could press all of them at one time. Very, very easy, very affordable, keeping crafting costs down, and very easy to personalize. And who doesn't like personalized gifts for Christmas? That's why sublimation, I think, is going to be super popular this year, because you can very easily do photos and any type of personalized thing on gifts, and everybody loves that. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to our next project. Okay, so for the next project, let's go ahead and use the sublimation oven. I'm so excited. It's so fun. So earlier in maybe the summertime, I shared in a haul that I purchased these sublimation metal kind of mason jar tumblers. They're so cute and they sublimate really, really well. So I want to use these in my oven, and I'm going to make my girls cute little monogram tumblers for Christmas. And I think it's going to be really, really cute. So what I'm going to do is take this lid off, and they come with a metal straw too. So I'll show you kind of how it all looks in the end. But what we're going to do is, again, this is a sublimation blank. So I don't want to be repetitive, but I want you to know that these are made for sublimation. You purchase them for sublimation. You want to make sure that you're not just trying to sublimate on anything. This is for sublimation. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my lint-free cloth, wipe it down. I want to make sure there's nothing on the surface. We don't want any blue dots. We don't want any, if you had maybe oils on there, you don't want any oil because then your ink would try to sublimate onto the oil and not to the actual surface. Does that make sense? So you don't want anything as a barrier between your sublimation blank and your ink. Make sure it's really nice and clean. Okay, now let me grab my little, this kind of is helping me lately get things just steady. So I have my little monogram here that I, just like the little keychain, I made a little monogram here with this cute little alphabet set. So we have the floral, the gingham, or the floral, the gingham, the stripe, very cute. Now you'll see that this is mirrored, so it's backwards right now. So that's something also that we should probably chit chat about. When you are doing, there goes my oven. When you are doing sublimation, you wanna make sure that you mirror your print, because then when you turn it around, and you face it down onto your project, once it sublimates, it will sublimate in the right direction. So make sure that you mirror it. If you have a Sawgrass, it actually automatically mirrors it. There's a button that is always says mirror. I think you can turn that on and off, but I just keep mine on just in case I'm crafting quickly and forget to mirror it. I don't want to waste any ink or sublimation paper with little mistakes like that. So I have two, so I duplicated it and printed two so that I could do a double-sided little mason jar tumbler here. So what I'm going to do, I already went ahead and got this all clean. I'm going to take my tape and I'm going to secure my design right onto my mug here. Now again, you can kind of see through your paper so that you can line it up really well. And I'm just going to tape it where I'd like it. So that looks just about right to me. I'll tape it on the right side over here. Tape it over here as well, making sure it's really tight to the tumbler here. Okay, turn this over. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Now you can make a full wrap so that you only attach one piece of paper. I like to just do two so that I can kind of place it wherever I'd like, but you can make a full wrap so that you don't have to line it up or anything like that. I have found this to be easier because sometimes I'm finding it hard on the templates to see exactly how to get it lined up. Does that make sense? I feel like the designing part takes longer. This for me is just quicker, but once you get your design and template down, I'm sure it's super, super fast. Okay, taping the other side. Now what we're going to do is we are going to put some shrink wrap. Now I purchased this from Heat Press, is it, or maybe it was Heat Transfer Wear. I'll link it all down below. But this is like a shrink wrap material. And what we're going to do is we are going to place our jar inside. So you're going to open this up. And we're going to place our jar, actually I'll probably just do this. Put it over our jar here. Now this is going to, we're going to apply some heat and have this shrink and tighten down onto the little mug here, because it will keep everything tight and in its place while we put it in the oven. That way everything stays firm and goes and stays really still. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring this all the way up like this. And then I'm going to grab my little heat mitts here. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab my little heat gun, turn it on, and then I'm just gonna apply the heat and it's gonna shrink right down here. Okay. On the other side. And then I'm just going to keep going and make sure that I have all those bubbles out. Take your time. Okay, I think that is good. Make sure that the design is nice and tight on the mug there. Okay, so now it's ready to go. Now, when I take this over, what I'm gonna do, let me let this cool for just a second. I'm gonna set it in my oven upside down. And the reason I'm gonna do that is because when I did a test, I made one of my other mugs first with this. Make sure it's not too hot. And what I did is I set it down this way where there was plastic, and the plastic actually melted to the bottom of my sheet pan in my oven, and I had to clean it up. It was a mess. So I'm gonna have it set this way. That way it's sitting on metal and it won't make a mess in my oven. So I'm telling you this because I already made that mistake, and it was the first project I did in there. And I almost cried because I like my stuff to be nice and clean, but you know, I make mistakes too. So let's go ahead and get this in the oven. Now I have the oven set to 195 degrees Celsius. And it's beeping at me to start. So 195 degrees Celsius for 5 minutes. Okay, so now again, I'm gonna put it face down. That way this doesn't melt onto my wire rack or the little sheet pan at the bottom, the sheet. So I'm just gonna place it right in, being very careful. And then I'll close and we will press start. And then it will do a little countdown for 5 minutes. So now this is a sublimation oven. This is not a food oven. This is a sublimation oven that is made for sublimation. I think it's adorable. I'm so excited. It's just a really cute little part of my craft room. I really, really like it. And one of the things I'm really excited about is you can do multiple projects at once. So it comes with a little pamphlet. It's pretty basic in terms of directions. So there's a pamphlet in there that tells you some times and temperatures, and it also gives you an idea of how long it would take, like if you wanted to do 2 mugs at the same time, it gives you an idea of how long it would take if you wanted to put multiple projects in there at one time. So that can really speed up Christmas time with in terms of gift giving if you wanted to make multiple projects at the same time. But for the one, again, it's 195 degrees Celsius at 5 minutes. Okay, so it is done. I'm gonna get all of my little oven mitts here, and then I'll show you my little oops that I did in my oven. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take this out, being very careful. It's very hot. It's just like you would be careful with a real oven when baking. But I'm gonna go ahead and put this on a heat surface or a heat resistant surface so it can cool down. And then let me show you my accident here. I about cried because I thought I had ruined it. So what I did was I had accidentally gotten some of that shrink wrap onto my little sheet pan here, and it melted. So I was able to scrape it off, but I panicked. I was like, no! No, it was a very first project too, but you know what? We all learn. So I'm gonna leave this on because I'm gonna do another project in just a minute in here. So we'll leave it on and we'll use this in just a second. Okay, so this is just gonna cool down really quickly on this little protective surface that I have here. It's gonna cool down fairly quickly. Again, the metal cools down pretty quick, and then we will take this off. Okay, so it's starting to cool. Now it literally will crack off. It's just kind of cracking in little sections and pieces, which is, it's gonna make a little bit of a mess. That's why I'll show you something different in just a second, and we'll try it for the first time together. Again, wait till it cools so that it's not burning your fingers. Let's see if I can snip this and kind of get it going or something to help get this a little bit more manageable. But it gets hard and it kind of just like cracks off. But there is nothing more satisfying than being careful, obviously not to scratch my little mug. There's nothing as satisfying as this little shrink wrap. Isn't that so cool? When I was in high school, I worked at a bakery for 4 years. It was like my high school and college job. And my job, one of the winters when I was home from college, I was lucky enough to go back to my job during the breaks to earn some spending money. And one of my jobs one year, there it goes. One of my jobs one year was I was in charge of the gift baskets. I loved it so much. So I worked at a bakery and I would put together these baskets of you know, fresh baked bread. The bakery I was at, we baked fresh bread all night long. So our bakers would come in at, you know, 6 p.m. and they would bake until about 2 a.m. And that was a fun little part of the job too. Sometimes I would help that. I wouldn't do it overnight, but I would help them get started, and it's just so fun. So anyway, I would put together gift baskets with fresh baked bread and fresh baked cookies and scones and jams. And then after the gift basket was all put together, I would shrink wrap it with that shrink film. Oh, that was my favorite part. It was, then you get it all tight and pretty in there, and I was made for that job. I loved it so much. Woo. Okay, so see how this comes off. It's, oh my gosh, it's coming off a lot better than it did when I did my test one. My test one, it was a hot mess, and I'm really glad I didn't do that one on camera because it just kind of came off in pieces. So let me see if I can get the rest of this off. It's nice and cool now. And just get all these little pieces off. So anyway, I tell you that story because I just love that little shrink part. It's so fun. Okay, now let's take off our little tape and print here. Do you like my fingernail polish? My husband says it's Barbie pink. I think he's right. I think it's fun. I need to get into my like winter polish, but I just haven't switched over yet. Okay, so looky look. Oh my gosh. Oh, it is so pretty. It's so pretty. Look how easy that was. And like I said, you can do multiple in one oven. So if you want to do 2 of these at once, it comes with a little pamphlet of, you know, times and temps and how you would do so. And here's the other side. How cute is this? This side seems a little bit more vibrant than this side for some reason. Doesn't it? Doesn't it seem more vibrant on this side? This looks darker. This one looks more muted. Huh. I don't know. I'll have to keep playing around with it. I don't know that I did anything any different. But I'll show you the other one I made too. And we're gonna keep I think the other one was equal on both sides. Let me bring it in and check. Let me bring it in. It's still pretty though. You know me, this is the side I like because it's so pastel-y. But look at, bam. Ah, so cute. I love it. Okay, yeah, definitely different on the other side. Wonder what I did there. Okay, let me bring my other one in and we'll see if my other one, because the other one was my test one. And yeah, my other one is equal on both sides. Well, I'm keeping this in the video because you might have that happen to you too. Not sure what the workaround is because I'm not sure what I did, but that was just a little bit more muted. I wonder, I don't know. Okay, but still equally cute. My 3-year-old will love it. I love it. So cute. Okay, so let me show you. Then it comes with, well, it comes with metal straws. I'm not gonna grab those, but it comes with little metal straws, and it also comes with boxes. So you get the box, the straw, you can just put them right back in there, and you can wrap them up all nice. Oh, I'm not sure, like, I don't know why that wasn't as vibrant. But you know what? I feel like I can't give you a little workaround for that because this one came out so perfect and I did it the exact same way. I still love it though. You know what? I still love it. So, and I'll just show you that because you never know. You might run into the same thing. And I don't want you thinking, why didn't mine turn out like hers? Because hey, look, I had a little miss as well. I still love them. Okay, let's do a wine glass. Let's do a wine glass in the oven. Okay, so let's do another one here. I have my wine glass. Again, Sublimation blank. This is made for sublimation. I'm going to take my little rag here, lint-free cloth. You could make this double-sided. I'm gonna do one side for this one, but the last one that I did was double-sided to give you an idea of how you could do that. But we'll do one-sided for this. I have this little design. Where'd you go? Jolly Mama. Again, it's mirrored so that when we put it on our project, it will be the right way. And I'm going to then secure it to my mug or my wine glass. Now take off the lid. The lid is plastic. We don't want that going into the oven. Take off the lid and set this here. I'm gonna do this one more time because I don't know if I touched this area while handling it. And Let me trim just a little bit around this. Then we'll do the little thread trick. Although that other one came off fairly well. Okay, Jolly Mama. How cute is that? I thought that would be so cute on a wine glass. Because, come on, right? Aren't we all jolly when we have a little sip? Okay, there we go. And so now this is a non-traditional shape, which makes it a very good project for the sublimation oven. Because once we shrink wrap our design to the surface of this wine glass, then the heat will just surround it in the oven and then sublimate. We don't have to worry about, you know, having to have this be a straight walled project where you would have need that to be so in a mug press or a traditional press. So now we'll take our shrink wrap again. Okay. Oh, I almost forgot again. Okay, so let's try it here. So you're gonna put some of the string inside and some of it out. Now I'm not gonna have my string cover my design just because I get nervous that like if there's anything interfering with that it will maybe make a line. So I'm gonna have it go the other way. Does that make sense? I don't want anything covering my design because I don't know if that will affect the sublimation. It probably wouldn't because it's such a tiny little surface area, but it makes sense to me. Okay, then I'm going to put my shrink wrap around it. And you can buy this in multiple sizes, so if you wanted to do really large tumblers, there are longer ones. I bought those as well, I just haven't bought the tumblers yet. Okay, and then I'm gonna leave a little room up here, that way I can put it upside down again and then I won't have the shrink wrap potentially, you know, on my rack where it could melt again on that. Okay, so again, that string I'm putting inside. Now I'm gonna grab my little gloves and line this up still. Let me take my time. I really want this to turn out well, so I want to take my time. Okay, line it up. Okay, now make sure that string doesn't fall. The best part, this is so gratifying. Okay, here we go. My kids are tap dancing upstairs. Can you tell? Let me turn this around. Can you hear my kids tap dancing on the hardwood floor above my craft room? We're having fun here. It's Santa's workshop. Okay. Woo. Making sure it all is even. There we go. Oops, I got a little close there on that and kind of melted it. Hopefully that works. Okay. Okay, let's put this in the oven. Again, I'm going to do it upside down so that that plastic doesn't melt onto my oven. Okay, so you take that over and put it in. So again, this is the same. It's going to be 195 degrees Celsius for 5 minutes. And again, your time and temp could vary. Okay, it goes in there. Go and we'll start. Okay, so that might have gone a little longer than 5 minutes because I was having trouble getting my timer to start. for some reason. So I think it might have gone just a tad longer than 5 minutes, but I have my gloves. Again, be very careful, it's very hot. I'm gonna grab this and get it cooled on a cool surface. Okay, so while I'm waiting for this to cool, I wanted to remind you, if you're new here, that last year I did a Cricut craft gift guide where I can't even remember how many days I did. Maybe it was 12 or maybe 15, I can't remember. It seems so crazy that 1 year ago you can just forget all the things, but I will link that playlist for you in case you need some additional ideas, or in case you aren't doing sublimation this year and you need some more Cricut oriented gifts that are more vinyl. And I think I did some infusible ink, and I did obviously some heat transfer vinyl as well. So I will link that guide down below for you because it'll give you some more ideas as well in addition to this video here today. So I think it's just about cool, and we will see if this little thread hack worked. I think it's gonna definitely make things a lot easier. So let's go ahead and reveal this little design. Okay, so it's pretty cool to the touch, just a tad warm. So then I think you just pull, and it should just help kind of cut into the, let's see, there we go. Oh yes, I'm kind of pulling both ends so it doesn't pull all the way through, but it kind of just gets it going. Whoops. Okay, let me hold the bottom one, so because it kind of just wants to pull it all the way through. Let's see here. I'm making it more difficult than it needs to be. Okay, holding tight to the bottom one. It started doing it. Well, it got it started. At least got it started for me. Okay, and it's coming off super, super easy now. Woo. Okay, that's the sublimation part. So I was trying to get my, oh, there's my next press already. I'm going to do a project with a Cricut Easy Press 2 next. Ooh, it's gonna be cute. Ooh. Sorry, I know that my reactions are probably like a little corny. Okay, now though, I have to admit, I see a little blue line on my mug from the thread. Okay, so if you do this, maybe use white thread. I see a little blue line from my thread. So, hey, no problem, no problem. It's still adorable and it's really faint, but I want you to be aware of that. So use white thread, because you might come across that. Right. Oh my goodness. Look at those neat colors. I love it. Oh my gosh, so pretty. I love that. What do you think? Very neat, because this is not obviously a straight walled, oh, that's tape. I almost panicked. I thought, what is this? It's tape. So this is obviously not a straight walled project where you could easily put it into a mug press. It has, you know, that tapered side and angled side. So the sublimation oven makes sublimating on something that's non-traditional in shape so much easier. Let me get this tape off because it's gonna bother my eye. There we go. Very pretty. I really like it. I love the colors. It's like a red and mustard, sage, and a really pretty dark pink. I think that's really cute. So then you have your lid here. Lid if you want to sip. No lid if you kind of feel like gulping. Never know. So cute. I love this. All right, this might be my little sip and wrap, I don't know, little container for sipping and wrapping this year. Very cute. So fun idea for, you know, making a little gift for someone. Very cute, very easy, and I love it. All right, let's move on to the next idea. Okay, so the next project that I want to do is I want to sublimate some really cute coasters. How cute are these? These are the Cricut coasters. So they come in a 4-pack. Cricut also makes a ceramic coaster that is round. This is the first time that I've used the little cork back ones, but I thought it would be fun to give them a try. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some little holiday prints on them, and I found this little set. It's a digital pattern paper pack. I'll link it down below, and this would be adorable on creating mug wraps, cell phone cases, any of the projects here, obviously. So I just thought they would make really cute coasters. So what I'm going to do really quickly is I'm going to wash off the surfaces of our little blanks here, like always, and then we're going to attach the prints to them so that we can get everything ready to sublimate. Now, I don't feel like a protective coating or anything on here, so I think I'm good. Okay, so I am washing these off. Now, the cork kind of makes a bit of a mess, I'm going to be honest. This is my first time using these. I tell you that because you're going to want to make sure you don't have any cork on the front of your coasters, or see if the cork is getting all over my designs too, because it will interfere with your transfer. So, well, let's keep going. First time using these. I always go for the ceramic ones because I just think they're really pretty, and I like the circle nature of it, but I wanted to try these out because I've had these forever. So I'm gonna just dust these off. I don't want any cork on my... Okay, I think I'm good. So now I'm thinking what you could do, honestly, is you could just keep all of these on the same paper and then just tape them down. But I'm kind of nervous that I don't have enough room to tape, so I think I'll just cut them apart. I think that's what I will do. Does that make sense? I feel like I don't have enough room to tape around, and I wanted to print all 4 on the same paper so that I obviously did not waste any sublimation paper. So I printed them fairly close to one another, but I want to have room to tape. So I'm going to cut these apart. And then let's do this. Again, most of these are not, don't have words on them except for one. So you do want to mirror. Of course, something like this, it wouldn't matter if it's mirrored or not. But anything with text, you definitely want to mirror the image so that it turns out correctly when it's sublimated. Okay, so now I'm going to, I have my heat mat cardstock. Set some of these to the side. I have a piece of butcher paper, and I think you could do 4 at once. I'm going to do 2 at once. So let's see, which 2 do we want to do first? Let's do the trees, and let's do the little Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays combo there. Okay, double checking there's no cork on my surface. So that is something to be aware of with the cork coasters. That seems to kind of like just not stay content on there. So this is the side we're sublimating on. I'm going to put that face down over my design. Again, there is a little edge around there that gives us plenty of room to center our design. And then I'm just going to tape my coaster to my paper. Taping. Now for the cork coasters, we're going to flip them over and press this way. For the round ceramic ones, you press them differently. So if you're using the round ones, I will place a link to a tutorial on how to do that because it is different, okay? It's not the same. You press them upside down, which I always have to double check that I'm doing that right because it doesn't quite make sense to me, but that's how you do it, and they turn out great. Okay, so this is the direction for, and I think the temperature is also different for the round ones. So you could also do pictures on these, so that's a great idea as well. Okay, so flipping these over, I have my cardstock and my butcher paper. Then I have another layer of cardstock. and then I'm gonna have my press. Putting them close enough together so that my press can do 2 at once. I'm gonna do 400 degrees for 60 seconds. And making sure my press covers the entire thing. Okay, and not moving my press at all. I think I'm gonna do a lot of photo coasters this Christmas because they're just so fun and just an easy, fun, personalized gift. So same process, but you could just print out a photo on your sublimation paper with your printer, with your sublimation printer, and that would be really fun as well. Okay. Woo, they wanted to come up with it. Woo. Okay, so hot, 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 remember. I'm just gonna turn these over. And then we will let them cool, and I'm gonna check my paper to see if I got any ink. I got a little bit of ink on this one, so I'm gonna toss this piece. I got some ink on this as well, but the cardstock looks good, so I can reuse the cardstock. I'll just get fresh butcher paper for the next set of 2. And oh, so cute. Okay, let me get my heat gloves because I'm impatient here. Actually, I'll grab my tweezers. Look at that, so cute. I love doing the digital paper too because you can do coordinating prints. And so cute. I'll hold them up in just a second. I don't want to get my fingers too hot. Oh, so cute. Did I get a blue dot? I might have gotten a blue dot on that one. Easy peasy. Cute. So cute. Okay, let me put these off to the side. Put this out. And we will let these cool. We'll keep pressing, and then you can see the little, all of them all together. Okay, let me get new butcher paper, and I'll prep and press the next 2 the exact same way that I did the first 2. Okay. I'm gonna just re-wipe because I feel like that cork is getting everywhere. This honestly might be my first and last time with the cork coasters. Just to be honest, I don't like the kind of mess that they're making. Let me know if yours are doing that as well. Just seeing like little pieces of cork everywhere. It's not like chunks, it's just little pieces, and it's, I don't know. It's not my jam. Okay. And still wiping off cork. Okay, there we go. Taping this down. And it's not a huge deal, you can just keep wiping it off, but I always want to keep it very honest if I'm noticing something that, you know, could keep you from having a really flawless project. And that for this project is the cork. Okay. I'll link a tutorial on the ceramic coasters as well. They're so easy. And I like the circle nature of them better. And then on the ceramic ones, you could just add cork to the bottom if you'd like after to keep them nice on your surface. Okay, face up for these. 1 and, oh goodness, cork is everywhere. Okay, 1 and 2. Oh, hold on. Forgot my paper. Butcher paper. But I didn't cut it quite long enough, but it doesn't seem like it's really going through the cardstock, so I think I'll be okay. Okay, 1, 2. Butcher paper on top of that. That was a little closer. Okay. And press. And then not moving it at all. Of course, then I just shifted it a little bit, but just be really careful. It's slippery. It's slipperier than you think. That's why heat presses are, actual heat presses, which you'll see me use a little bit later, are really, really good for sublimation because they are very steady. And these little easy presses can kind of move around, but you can still do it. And I've done it a lot, so just be mindful of it. That's all you have to do is just be careful. Okay, there we go, lifting up. Okay. And I see ink on this. It's hard for you to see, but it is there, so we'll toss that. And, ooh, that came right off. That one's pretty. That has a herringbone pattern on it. This one I think is gonna be my favorite. The little presents. Oh yes, it will be. Cute. And no blue dots. I only think I got one on one coaster. Yes, I got a cluster of them on that one. So user error on that one. Ooh, that's hot, that's hot. Careful. Okay, that one, and there we go. Okay, let's put them all together so you can see the little coordinating set. Okay, so we have those two that are still cooling, and these two. Hold these up so you can see how cute are they. So you could stack them up, put a little raffia or a ribbon around them, maybe deliver them with a bottle of wine. This would be a really fun neighbor gift. Very cute. Again, if you did pictures on the top of them, they'd be a good grandparent gift as well. I think that is what I will probably end up doing for some of these, but I love the little patterns. I think they're cute. This is adorable. This would be adorable on a mug, but I'll show you. I'm doing a mug wrap soon. I'm going to bring the Cricut mug press out in just a little bit, and we'll do a mug wrap, and I'll show you the little pattern I chose for that. But so cute, so easy. And again, you could use the ceramic circular ones as well, which I kind of think I'm going to go back to those because I didn't quite enjoy some of the elements of these, but they turned out really cute, so that's what matters. Okay, here is our next project. We are going to do a little cosmetic bag. Very, very fun. If you didn't want to do sublimation, you could do iron-on as well. But this is a infusible ink sublimation bag. So this is a Cricut product. I believe you can, I believe it is at least. Let me double check. Yes, you can buy sublimation bags as well. I just had some that were Cricut, and I'm gonna use that. So what you wanna do is similar to with your blanks, you were using this lint-free cloth. For something like fabric, you're gonna use a lint roller for the same reasons. You wanna make sure that you get a very clean surface so that you don't get any blue dots. And also because you don't wanna sublimate onto dust or onto lint. You want to sublimate onto the actual bag. So I'm gonna do, I think I'm gonna do this side just because the other side had a little mark on it. I've had these for a while, so. Okay, so I have that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to slip a piece of cardstock inside, and you're gonna have to trim it down so that it fits. Let me trim that just a little bit. Okay. I'm placing a piece of cardstock inside the bag. That's going to prevent the sublimation from sublimating onto the back of the bag. So it's providing a barrier inside. That way the ink only sublimates to the front and doesn't go through and bleed onto the back. Okay, I'm going to place a piece of butcher paper underneath my project. And then I have my bag with the cardstock inside. I'm gonna do this design again. You saw me do this in one of my recent videos. I made a really cute off-the-shoulder shirt for myself. So cute. I've gotten so many compliments on it. I love it. So I'm gonna reuse this design, and I'm gonna do a little garment bag on with it. And I'm just going to take, I like to trim as close to the edge as I can, just because it helps me line up. I'm gonna, whoop, you can hear kiddos having fun in the background. I'm just gonna tape that down just like this, trying to get it as straight as I can and centered as I can. That's where I have to be patient with myself because it's a little bit harder. When you do iron on and things like that, you have that clear carrier sheet where you can easily center things. And what I'm doing right now is I'm making sure that that cardstock is centered inside. That way it's going to be right under my design because that's important. Okay. I think that looks pretty straight to me. So I'm just going to tape that down. Tape, tape, and then I'm going to put another piece of butcher paper over the top, and I'm going to press this at 385 for 60 seconds. Now, when I put my press on this, I'm going to put my press below the zipper. The zipper is very bulky, and if you put your press onto the zipper, it's not going to allow you to get an even press. So you want to place your press right below that zipper. That way it's flat onto your garment. Now there are some seams along the side, so I'm just going to press down really firmly and hopefully I get a nice even press. I'm going to go ahead and do that now, placing it right under my zipper, not moving my press once again. And then I'm going to press start. Again, 385 for 60 seconds, and I'm just going to really put some pressure into that. I think everybody's giggling upstairs. Okay, there we go. You could also use, in my last video, I was using those T-pads. T-pad it to bring up the surface. You could place a pad inside there below here. The giggling is making me giggle. Below the, or underneath that cardstock to raise that surface as well. But we'll see if this works. Let's see, we'll try it together. You guys like it when there are a little bit of flaws sometimes because there are teachable moments. So I'm trying to be better about allowing for a little bit of trial and error sometimes. Okay, so you'll see that there is, if I kind of tilt it, you can see the ink right there. So we'll throw this away. And then let me grab my tweezers. Oh, I got it on the, I'm peeking on the sides to make sure that it's even. It's even. We did a great job. Okay. Ready? There we go. Oh my gosh, it was perfect. Okay, so we didn't really necessarily need any type of pad to lift that up. You could definitely do that if you wanted to, but how sweet is that? And then I'm gonna grab this from the inside. We'll check that out. And I don't see anything on there, so that's great. Of course, the back of our bag is protected. Very cute. So again, you could put anything you'd want here. You could personalize someone's name. This would be really fun if you wanted to make these for teachers and put some little supplies in there, put their name in there. This would be fun for teenage girls if you wanted to put, you know, nail polish or makeup inside. That would be fun as well. So lots of fun things. You could also do this for a crafter and put some craft supplies in there. I think that's really, really cute as well. I'm gonna probably do something like that. I think that's just a really good use of this bag, but the possibilities are endless. So here's another idea for something you can sublimate for Christmas. The next fun idea that we're gonna do is we are gonna sublimate a mouse pad. This I have done on my channel as well. It's so fun. Again, to be repetitive, you can do a photo on here. That would be really, really fun. And this would be a really fun coworker gift, grandparent gift. Very simple, very easy. So really quickly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my lint roller. Once again, make sure there's nothing on the surface of my mouse pad. We don't want to sublimate onto lint or dust. We want to sublimate right onto that surface. We also want to prevent getting any blue dots. I have a print here that I printed out with my Sawgrass SG500, and I used a template that was in Creative Studio, which is the software that accompanies the Sawgrass printer. So now I'm just going to get that all taped down. So I'm going to put my design there. Again, white side is the side we're going to sublimate on, and so I'm going to place that side down. Now I didn't have a lot of a barrier here, actually, so I want to make sure it's almost a little small. Hopefully I have enough. There's so many templates in Creative Studio that it may be that I didn't look at the right size. Another thing is, once again, this is a sublimation mouse pad. You can't just buy a regular plain mouse pad. You have to get a sublimation mouse pad. Okay, I'm taping this down. Again, I have that cardstock underneath, and then I'm going to very carefully turn this over so that the ink side is up, and then it's on that cardstock if you can see. Okay. I'm going to place another piece of butcher paper underneath just to do another protective layer. So heat press mat, cardstock, butcher paper, mouse pad, and print. Everybody's giggling upstairs. It's lunchtime. Another piece of cardstock. And then I am going to use my press. I'm going to actually put the temperature up back to 400. And the time is 45 seconds. So let me just change that really quickly and then we will press. Okay, and then I'm just kind of feeling with my fingers where the project starts and ends. That way I know exactly where to put my heat press. I'll grab my press and I'll place that right over there. And again, I'm going to press at 400 for 45 seconds. Once again, your time and temp may vary. Also, make sure you're checking with your sublimation blanks. Most of the time they do come with some sublimation directions in terms of the temperature and the time of pressing that you should do. So refer to that as well based on the blanks that you purchase. Okay, there we go. Bringing that straight up. And whew. Let's see. Ooh. Oh no, look what I did. My tape got in between. Look, my tape got in between my print and my pad. But okay, there's another learning moment for you. So my tape got in between my heat and my print and my pad. It must have done this. So what it did is it sublimated onto my tape and not my pad. But anyway, this is a good example anyway, still really, really cute. I'll leave this in here and you'll know what it looks like if it's supposed to be perfect, but that's what it turned out like. Very fun colors and stuff. I love how Christmassy this is. So fun. Here's the little whoopsie, but you'll know how to avoid it in the future. Don't let your tape go onto it. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to our next one. Okay, so you know how much that hurt my heart to leave something imperfect in the video, but you know what? It is what it is. And now you know, be careful where you put your tape, or be careful to double check that your tape hasn't shifted. Okay, so now we are going to do, I'm turned on my Cricut mug press and we are going to press a couple mugs. I have one mug that I'm going to do a full wrap on, and then I have another that I'm just going to do a double-sided little icon on, and it's going to be so cute. So these are the Cricut mugs. You cannot use any mug. You have to use a sublimation mug. You don't have to use a Cricut mug, but you do need to use a mug that is for sublimation in order to do this project. So I printed out a couple of things for my mugs. So the first mug I'm going to do is this really pretty Christmas print. How sweet is this? Has pretty bows, candy canes, ornaments, trees with lights, stockings, just so pretty. So let's go ahead and prep our mug and then we will get it all pressed and I'll show you how easy it is. Now again, we're going to clean the surface of our mug. I especially can see a lot of fingerprints on this mug. I always handle my mugs a lot when I'm cleaning my craft room as I'm moving things around, so they're bound to get some dust and oils from my hands on them, so I just want to make sure that I remove everything from that surface. You can also use a lint roller. I find a lint-free cloth to be a better option because a lint roller is just going to get lint off. But when you're rubbing with a lint-free cloth, you're removing smudges and oils and all those little fingerprints. And I can literally see some on this mug. So I don't want that to interfere with getting a nice transfer. Okay, this looks good. Okay, so this, I wanted to mention, I found this at Target in the dollar spot. I'm not sure if it was $1, if it was, you know, the $3 or $5, but I picked it up. It said something about like a heat resistant pad, but I think because it rolls up and obviously attaches like so, I think it might be for like a flat iron or a curling iron. I'm not sure, but I saw it, I saw the color, I knew it was right up my crafty alley, and I thought this would be really nice to have as a little heat surface to like set my mugs on when they're cooling or so on and so forth. So anyway, in case you're wondering about that, just so that I can answer that real quick. Now I'm going to take my print. Again, I printed this on my Sawgrass. It's on sublimation paper with sublimation ink. I'm going to now wrap around my mug. What I personally find is easiest when doing a mug wrap is I place the mug on my table with the handle facing towards me. Then I take my wrap and then I wrap it around and then make sure that the ends are an equal distance away from the handle, just like so. So that's how I like to do it. Now I'm going to use heat resistant tape to help secure it. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it. And it also makes sure it's straight because it's going to be straight with the table, if that makes sense. It's just going to rest on the table so I'll know that my design is straight. Okay, so now you can see it is a little tall here, which is just fine. You don't want it too short and you don't want it to be too tall down here. You want this to be flush because then it will sit nicely in your press. So I'm just going to tape under my handle here, being sure, just like in the last little example we did, being sure that my design is not going to go over tape. So you want to make sure that you angle that just in a way so that you don't have your design laying on tapes. If you do that, then just like in our last little example, the design will sublimate to the tape and not to the blank that you're working with. Okay. So I guess it's nice to have imperfections from time to time because they'll be learning opportunities. Now I'm going to take 3 pieces of butcher paper that I have just trimmed down. The chime means that the mug press is ready, but 3 pieces of butcher paper. I just trimmed them down to be roughly around the same size as that wrap. And then I'm going to wrap them around my mug. Now, again, just like the projects before, the purpose of the butcher paper is to allow a barrier between your sublimation project and your heat source. That way you're protecting the inside of your mug press. Should your design bleed or, you know, have the ink run over. Okay, so I just put 3 layers of butcher paper on top. Now, if you are wanting to do a mug with infusible ink, please be sure you check out a tutorial that shows infusible ink being put on a mug because it is a different process. You don't need to use the same amount of layering of butcher paper. So I get a lot of questions about that, asking why are you doing the butcher paper if you haven't done that with infusible ink? It's because it's a different process. Essentially, it is the same thing because they're both a form of sublimation, but because it's a different process with the actual product being used, then there's a different process for layering. So if you want to do infusible ink, check out my video that I'll link in the top right corner, then it'll show you how to do that. Okay, now I'm going to angle it, and I angle it just because it will help not snag or rip my paper. I'm going to angle it, then I'm going to make sure that that mint area covers my design because that is the heat. And I'll close it and it will start the countdown. So while that is going, I'm going to prep my next mug. So I'm just going to wipe off the surface. Let me know if you are doing any Christmas crafting. Let me know if you are doing any sublimation crafts for Christmas. I know a lot probably are. It seems like sublimation was really big this year, so naturally a lot of people have spent the year learning how to do it, and now naturally it's going to be an obvious choice for creating Christmas gifts. Okay, so I'm going to use this just to steady my mug, and let me grab my next design. So the next design that I'm using is I purchased this cute little design. It's a little vintage Santa with a little pink hat. How cute is this? And I just really needed to have this mug in my life for the holidays. So I'm going to trim them apart. I just duplicated it. Again, you could create a template in Sawgrass Studio so that you could do this in one piece just like I did that piece so that it's already lined up. I've just not found a perfect way to do that yet. I haven't found just the perfect measurement. I find sometimes it's a little too close to the handle or just a little too close here. So I just honestly, sometimes I feel like templates can either make it easier or harder, and in this case I have found it's just made it harder, so I just cut them apart and do my own lining up. But I washed that down Now I'm just going to take some tape once more, and I'm going to secure my little design to the mug. Let's see. And I'm going to do a double side, which is why I duplicated the little mug here, or the duplicated the little design, excuse me. Okay, there's one, and there's the next. So you'll see the lights flashing. So it's at the 2, so 2 out of 5 for the progress bar there. Because I was handling this a little bit while I was studying that other design, I'm going to just wipe that down and do the other side. Okay, a couple things of tape. I actually purchased another roll of tape. I'm doing really well, actually. This is still my original roll of tape. And I just purchased another roll because it was on major sale during the summertime. And I've still yet to need it. Okay. Now, let's do just about there. Okay, and then I am simply going to make sure that's really tight, and then I will wrap that 3 layers of butcher paper over the top. Again, protecting the inside of my press from getting any ink on there. Okay, I like to grab my tape before so that it's all ready to go. Coffee mugs are an easy gift for anybody. And you don't have to love coffee in order to get a coffee mug. So hot chocolate, tea, hot coffee and Baileys. Ooh, yum. That is a Christmas morning delicacy at our house. Coffee with Baileys. Okay, so there we go. I am going to let this count down. We have 3 out of the 5, almost done. Then we will take this out and we'll just switch them out. This will cool, this will go in, and we will be on our merry way. Okay, so this is done. It's chimed. Take it out. Now the mug handle is cool to touch, so we're okay there. Take it out, swap, do a little switcheroo, and there we go. The Santa mug. Ugh, I can't wait to see how that turns out. Okay, I am just gonna gently remove some of this paper. That way we can do a little reveal. Grab my handy dandy tweezers. And oh my goodness, cute. I love a wrapped mug with a little pattern on it. I've been doing that a lot recently with just the holiday times. I did it for, let's see, I think I did some for fall, I did some for Halloween, but how darling is this? There we go. Oh my goodness. How sweet. Being careful because it's very hot. But this turned out just gorgeous. I love this. This will just be beautiful for Christmas morning. You could even, design someone's initial on the front. You could put their name, you could layer it. So have the pattern below and then put their name on top in the software so that you press it all at once, but you could just edit it to have a little bit of a name in there too using the text feature. But how cute is this? I just love it. I love it, love it, love it. Okay, so a couple more minutes on this and then I will take it out, and I called dibs on this cup Christmas morning. Totally mine, totally mine. Okay. Undo, bring it out. And let's move this little guy over a little bit. Okay. You will wait until it's cooled. That's my recommendation, but because I have a couple more crafts I want to get done today, I'm just gonna be very careful and peel this off. Okay, so we got the paper. It's extremely, extremely hot. Okay, and then using my tweezers here. I just cannot wait to see this little Santa. So cute. Okay. Oh, cute. Oh, it's so vintage looking. So cute. Okay, let's do the other side, which is the same, but the anticipation is still just as fun. Okay, there we go. A little bit more here. Okay. Sweet. Sweet as pie. That is just adorable. Look at these mugs. How cute are they? I love that. And I love a vintage mug. I think that's just adorable. So cute, so classic and timeless. Really fun with the pink hat too. So let's get a good look at that detail. I want to say I saw a blue dot around the lip. Do you see right here? See the blue dot? And there it is in all its glory. But you know what? Still stinking cute. Love it. Okay, I think my pink heat press is ready to go. So let's do some shirts, and then I think I have one more project after that. Okay, so I told you would see this design again, but I just have to make the girls little monogram shirts because I monogram all the things on all the things multiple times. So I am making these cute little peplum shirts. Love them. They are 100% polyester. I bought them in a 2-pack. So I just did them recently in a Thanksgiving video where I did one of the shirts for Thanksgiving. Now this is not necessarily a Christmas shirt, but I want them to have these cute little shirts, and then they can have their little tumblers, and I think it'll just be adorable. Plus I just love monograms on all the things. So that's what we're doing. So I have this all ready to go. I have it printed and sized for my shirt. And then what I did is I ripped around the design. It's preferred that you do that when doing shirts because it softens the edge. If you were to cut it, then it will leave cut marks, or it just has more of a harsh stop and start on the shirt where you can actually see where the transfer was placed. If it's soft and feathered like this and ripped, you won't see, you know, the outline of the design or the outline of the paper. So I have a tutorial on how to do this. I went ahead and did it just to keep this video going. But if you want more information on how to feather those edges, I'll link a video up in the corner for you and you can take your time watching that. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to use this pressing pad. I used this in my last video when I showed you how to do toddler shirts. Now it's a great idea to use something like this inside the shirt because when you have seams on a shirt just like this that will be on the press platform, it prevents the press from getting a really flat press, an even press. And when you're doing sublimation, having a flat press is really critical because then you'll get a good transfer. So when you put something like this inside of the shirt, you are lifting up the garment so that the seams aren't affecting how flat of a press you're going to get, if that makes sense. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my pad inside of the shirt. And I bought this in a pack. I think there were 5 and they had a lot of different sizes. So I've used them for onesies. There's a small one for onesies. And then there's this size, which I like it for shirts. I'm not sure of the exact dimensions, but I'll link the pack I bought down below so you can see what comes inside. There's one for adults. There's one for a sleeve. And I can't remember what else. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my lint roller and I'm going to just make sure there's nothing on the surface of the shirt. Now, do the entire shirt, even the sleeves, because believe it or not, those blue dots can show up on the sleeves, on any other area that you're not even sublimating on. So I just do the whole thing. And I do it more than you'd think because I've said it time and time again. I over lint roll and I still get the blue dots sometimes. Okay, then I'm going to take a piece of butcher paper and place it inside my shirt to provide a barrier between my shirt and that pressing pad. That way if any ink bleeds through, it will bleed onto that piece of butcher paper that I can simply toss and not on my pad that I want to reuse over and over for other projects. Okay, so we got the butcher paper inside. Now let's go over. I'm going to do a pre-press and then I'm going to tape my design onto the shirt. Then I'll press it. You'll see. Let's go ahead and get started. And then I'm going to put a piece of butcher paper on top and do my pre-press. This is also a good time to make sure that your pressure is just right because you're going to kind of play around with that pressure to compensate for that pad that you just put in the shirt. That feels good to me. Okay. So just about 5 seconds there. Now I'm going to lint roll. Okay. Straighten out my shirt still. And then grab my design and get that where I'd like it on the shirt. Again, mirroring that design so that once it goes onto the garment, it's the right way. And my tape measure, I have to say it right or I get a million comments. Okay. My tape measure, let's make sure it is. Okay, perfect. That it is, and I have it about 1 inch from the bottom of that collar line, taping down the sides. And while this is pressing, I'm going to go ahead and prep the other shirt, and I'll do it exactly the same way. Now I'll cover this with butcher paper, and then I'm going to do 385 for 60 seconds. Again, your time or temp may vary, so do what you feel is best. But I'm going to press that, and I'll prep my next shirt. Well, I can't really prep my next shirt because I need the pad that's inside this shirt. So I'm just going to stand here and patiently wait, and then I'll prep the next shirt. Okay, there we go. Now the pad that's inside is very hot, so you want to be careful. I see that some of the ink has sublimated onto this piece of paper, so I will throw that away. And then very quickly, I will rip this. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. Oh my gosh. Listen, a reveal is never going to be boring for me. That is so cute. Okay, my new favorite thing I've ever made to date. This literally just beat every craft I've ever done on my channel. Literally. Okay, now that is really hot inside, so something I do, it's not professional or whatever, but it helps me not burn my fingers, is I just take this and allow that to fall out. Oh, it's so cute. Okay, look. Look. Oh my gosh. It's precious. It's precious. I love it. Could I make one for myself? I could, right? I don't care if it's wrong. I don't want to be right if wearing this in my size is wrong. Oh my gosh. So cute. See, this is why I buy all the things for stuff like this. This makes my heart just burst with happiness. It's adorable. Okay, now I can prep my next shirt because I have all my supplies again. This is hotty toddy, but actually it's pretty warm at this point, so we're okay. So I'm gonna place this inside the shirt. Probably place it this way for the 5 t-shirt. Woofed, it's hot. Oh my goodness. Hot potato, hot potato. Okay, there we go. And You want to place that pad where your design, roughly where your design is going to be, obviously. I know that seems like an obvious statement to make, but I'm showing you why I'm kind of fussing with it, is because I know that design is going to roughly be in this area, so that's why I'm being picky about it. I'm thinking about there, so I'll probably go a little bit lower for the 5 t-shirt. Okay, that looks great. I'm going to lint roll all of the shirt. Oh, I need to check. Did I get any blue dots? I don't think I did. I did not. Hooray! Okay, that's triple my favorite craft ever because I've conquered the blue dot. Okay, everybody say a prayer. Let's pray, pray, pray for this one. Although, you know, it's not a huge deal. It's just a stinker, right? They're not completely obvious. Only if you know what you're doing, I think, would you notice them. Okay, butcher paper going inside the shirt. Just like this. Okay. Making sure. There we go. And let's take it over, pre-press. Tape the design, press. And we'll probably add a little lint roll in there because I'm a nervous Nelly. Okay, here we go. Bringing that down a little bit so that where I place my design is obviously on that pressing area. Okay. So, butcher paper. Pre-press. Right around 5 seconds. Okay, that looks good. I'm going to lint roll again. So 2 1/4, 2 1/4. Let's do it. Okay, make sure that's straight. Okay, no blue dots, no blue dots, no blue dots. Tape. Make sure when you're doing any tape with your project, you're using a heat resistant tape. You don't want it to melt and ruin your project or your machine. Okay, butcher paper right back over and press. Okay, 3, 2, 1, done. Okay, I see some ink here, so we'll toss that. And there. Oh my goodness. It's official. I'm making one for myself. It's going to be Mama and Me shirts. For sure. For sure. I have to. That is precious. Precious. Okay, letting that hot pad drop to the floor. And just chill out and calm down there. Okay. There we go. I'm looking for blue dots. Nope, I don't see it. Oh, I got one. Teeny tiny. Right here. Can you see? Right there. There she is. Oh well. It is what it is. Again, really, only if you're looking for it would you see it, right? How sweet. Let me get their tumblers so that I can show you just how cute this is going to be. Look. Cutie patooties. I love it. Okay, I'm making mine. I'm going to make, yes, maybe a sweatshirt. Maybe I'll make mine a sweatshirt. I'm going to make myself a tumbler and I'm going to be the little trio. I'm going to be the third wheel. Oh my gosh, how cute. Okay, one more project to go. Let's roll. Okay, so my next project is a garden flag, and I am going to purely experiment here because This is a very large surface area, so obviously my printer, the SG500, only prints 8.5 by 11. So what I did is I printed my Santa separately on one piece of paper, and then I printed this little text bubble. It's a quote bubble. You know what I'm saying. So I printed this separately with the stars on another piece of paper. Now, this is also a lot of surface area, and I have a smaller heat press. So I'm gonna see if I can manage to do a bigger design by pressing a couple times, fingers crossed, on my press. So let's just see how this works. Now, I am going to really quickly take this over to my press and pre-press it because it's really wrinkly. So this is a Sublimation garden flag. Once again, it's made for sublimation. So I'm gonna take it over there and I'm gonna put a piece of butcher paper over it and get it all just crease-free and nice and pretty. Okay, so I'm just gonna press it in sections. I'll just do the top. I'm essentially just ironing this. And then I need to add more pressure because I don't have that pad. So I need to just play around here. And I think, oh, that's too much. There, that's probably good. I'm at 385. I think I'm going to try 385 for maybe 55 seconds for this flag. So I didn't take them completely out, but at least got it straighter, I guess. And once it's outside, you know, all of those wrinkles will naturally just fall out. Okay. And once more. There we go. I'm gonna make that more. There we go. Okay, so here is my garden flag. And it's really sheer, as you can tell. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put two pieces of butcher paper below it and then two pieces of butcher paper on top of it. And what I'm going to do here is I am going to focus on the Santa first. So I'm going to kind of get all of my pieces where I'd like them. So I know I want the Santa here. Yes, I want the Santa there. I'm going to tape him down. And I know the text bubble will go here. I know we'll have a couple stars. And just like that. Okay, let me take this over to the press. And I'm going to see once the press base is underneath it, it'll give me a better idea of how much I can do at one time. So again, I'm going to do, because it's so thin, makes me more comfortable to put two pieces below, then do my flag. Okay. And then I feel like we could do, let's see here, a star. Well, I think we have enough room to do a star here. This is where the little text bubble will go on the next round. Okay, so let me tape down that star. Now the thing about doing this, because usually you only sublimate something one time, like you only press it one time when you sublimate. I'm going to see if I can kind of press in sections, but we want to be careful here because we do not want our design to move at all or it will ghost. So I'm going to make sure it's taped down really well. Okay, so I'm just making sure my heat press is going to cover all of that. Looks like it. And can I fit a star here. Can I fit one more? I think I can. So I have it kind of tucked under that paper, but in a way that it's not going to interfere with my Santa. I'm just experimenting. Obviously, if you have a bigger press, you're good to go, but I'm small beans over here. Okay, let's try it. I'm going to do 385 for, let's try 50 seconds. And then we have, it's not going to focus very well, but we have the ho 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 and then the other star to do next. Okay. And you know what I forgot to do is I forgot to do my butcher paper. Okay. Hopefully my press is okay. Okay, so I think these are good. I don't want to move them a lot though. And then I'm just going to shift this over and do the next section. Maybe just place this here. Were you all just yelling at me in the screen saying, butcher paper? I would have been. I totally would have been. Oh. Okay. And another star. Okay. That's when you know you are done crafting for the day. Okay, so I'm just going to shift this down so this part now will be under there, and I'm going to do 2 layers of butcher paper, and let's press. Ready? It's all the way in there. Okay, here comes the reveal. I think it's okay. I don't see anything. I see a little bit on there, but okay. Let's take it over and see. Okay, so here's all of my little designs here. We have a star. So again, your goal here is you don't want to move at all. You don't want to move any of your designs at all, because then you don't want any ghosting. I think it worked. Oh, cute. Very, very minor ghosting right there. Oh my goodness. It worked. Okay, so very minor right here. You can see a little bit of where it shifted on the eyelash. So Santa just has some extra thick eyelashes on this side. He bought the good pack of eyelashes for this side, right? It worked. A little bit of a miss right here where my press probably stopped right there. So that was major user error and not anything else, but so cute. Now underneath, good thing I had my paper underneath, because look, Santa's there, because it's really sheer. It's so sheer. And don't forget your butcher paper on top like I did, but you know what? I did it. I mean, it worked. So you just want to be careful, use a lot of butcher paper so you don't have any ink bleed onto anything. And you also want to make sure nothing shifts, so that, because if you if anything moves before you do the second press, then it's gonna shift and press again. That's why Santa looks extra glamorous on this side. Oh my goodness. It looks so cute though, right? I love it. I think it's so sweet. Okay, there we go. Thanks so much for joining me on this video where we sublimated just about all the things for Christmas. Now, of course, there are tons of other things you can sublimate for Christmas. I just picked 12 that I thought were really fun, but possibilities are endless. As long as there's a sublimation blank for it, then go for it. So we did a garden flag, really cute to personalize the family's name for this as well. And then we did the iPhone case or cell phone case, a fun wine glass. Apparel is a really fun way to give during the holidays. Coffee mugs are always a good idea. This tumbler was fun. And then the bookmark, these are really fun to make for just about anyone. And again, small in size for fun stocking little stuffers. A little pouch. So this is the little garment bag, what's it called? Cosmetic bag, there we go. Then we have this cute little keychain. I love it. And we have the little pop socket, coasters, and we have our little, whoopsie, see what I did there? Now you see it, now you don't. There's the little mouse pad as well. So I hope you enjoyed this. Please let me know if you're gonna try any of these for the holidays coming up. And I hope this inspired you in some way. Again, don't forget, your times and temps may vary. Always do test sublimating before you are doing it, so make sure you do your own testing, and I hope this was helpful in some way. Please be sure to give this a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and have a very Merry Christmas.